today's Ishopanishad class. Let us begin with prayers. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Reading from the book Sri Ishopanishad, the knowledge that brings one nearer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, by His Divine Grace, Vishwaguru Abhay Charanaravinda, Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Mantra 14. Sambhutim cha vinasham cha yastad vedo bhayam saha vinashena mrityum tirtva sambhutyamritam. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation. One should know perfectly the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna and his transcendental name, form, qualities, and pastimes, as well as the temporary material creation with its temporary demigods, men, and animals. When one knows these, he surpasses death and the ephemeral cosmic manifestation with it, and in the eternal kingdom of God, he enjoys his eternal life of bliss and knowledge. Purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. By its so-called advancement of knowledge, human civilization has created many material things, including spaceships and atomic energy. Yet it has failed to create a situation in which people need not die, take birth again, become old, or suffer from disease. Whenever an intelligent man raises the question of these miseries before a so called scientist, the scientist very cleverly replies that material science is progressing and that ultimately it will be possible to render man deathless, ageless, and diseaseless. Such answers prove the scientist's gross ignorance of material nature. In material nature, everyone is under the stringent laws of matter and must pass through six stages of existence: birth, growth, maintenance, production of byproducts, deterioration, and finally death. No one in contact with material nature can be beyond these six laws of transformation. Therefore, no one, whether demigod, man, animal, or planet, can survive forever in the material world. The duration of life varies according to species. Lord Brahma, the chief living being within this material universe, lives for millions and millions of years, while a minute germ lives for some hours only. But no one in the material world can survive eternally. Things are born or created under certain conditions, they stay for some time, and if they continue to live, they grow, procreate, gradually dwindle, and finally vanish. According to these laws, even the Brahmas, of which there are millions in different universes, are liable to death either today or tomorrow. Therefore, the entire material universe is called Martyaloka, the place of death. Material scientists and politicians are trying to make this place deathless because they have no information of the deathless spiritual world, spiritual nature. This is due to their ignorance of the Vedic literature, which contains full knowledge confirmed by mature transcendental experience. Unfortunately, modern man is averse to receiving knowledge from the Vedas, Puranas, and other scriptures. From the Vishnu Purana 6.7.61, we receive the following information. Vishnu Shakti Para Prokta Kshetrajña Tata Para Avidya Karma Sanyaya Avidya Karma Sanyanya Tritiya Shakti Rishyate. Lord Vishnu, the personality of Godhead, possesses different energies known as para or superior and apara or inferior. The living entities belong to the superior energy. The material energy in which we are presently entangled is the inferior energy. The material creation is made possible by this energy, which covers the living entities with ignorance or avidya and induces them to perform fruitive activities. Yet there is another part of the Lord's superior energy that is different from both this material inferior energy and the living entities. That superior energy constitutes the eternal deathless abode of the Lord. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, verse 20. Parastasmattu bhavonyo avyakto vyaktat sanatanaha yassa sarveshu bhuteshu nashyatsu na vinashyati. All the material planets, upper, lower, and intermediate, including the Sun, Moon, and Venus, are scattered throughout the universe. These planets exist only during the lifetime of Brahma. Some lower planets, however, are vanquished after the end of one day of Brahma and are again created during the next day of Brahma. On the upper planets, time is calculated differently. One of our years is equal to only 24 hours or one day and night on many of the upper planets. The four ages of Earth, Satya, Treta, Dwapara, and Kali, last only 12,000 years according to the time scale of the upper planets. Such a length of time multiplied by 1000 constitutes the day of Brahma, and one night of Brahma is the same. Such days and nights accumulate into months and years, and Brahma lives for 100 such years. At the end of Brahma's life, the complete universal manifestation is vanquished. Those living beings who reside on higher planets like the sun and the moon, as well as those on Martyaloka, this earth planet, and also those who live on lower planets, all are merged into the waters of devastation during the night of Brahma. During this time, no living beings or species remain manifest, although spiritually they continue to exist. This unmanifested stage is called avyakta. Again, when the entire universe is vanquished at the end of Brahma's lifetime, there is another avyakta state. But beyond these two unmanifested states is another unmanifested state, the spiritual atmosphere or nature. There are a number of there are a great number of spiritual planets in this atmosphere, and these planets exist eternally, even when all the planets within this material universe are vanquished at the end of Brahma's life. There are many material universes, each under the jurisdiction of a Brahma, and this cosmic manifestation within the jurisdiction of the various Brahmas is but a display of one fourth of the energy of the Lord, Ekapada Vibhuti. This is the inferior energy. Beyond the jurisdiction of Brahma is the spiritual nature, which is called Tripada Vibhuti, three fourths of the Lord's energy. This is the superior energy or Para Prakriti. The predominating supreme person residing within the spiritual nature is Lord Sri Krishna. As confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, verse 22, he can be approached only by unalloyed devotional service and not by the processes of jnana, philosophy, yoga, mysticism, or karma, fruitive work. The karmis or fruitive workers can elevate themselves to the Swargaloka planets, which include the sun and the moon. Jnanis and yogis can attain still higher planets such as Maharloka, Tapoloka, and Brahmaloka. And when they become still more qualified through devotional service, they can enter into the spiritual nature, either the illuminating cosmic atmosphere of the spiritual sky, Brahman, or the Vaikuntha planets, according to their qualification. It is certain, however, that no one can enter into the spiritual Vaikuntha planets without being trained in devotional service. We will continue to read the purport in the next session. We will discuss the points that we read just now. So, we are discussing the mantra 14 of Ishopanishad, and the main purpose of Ishopanishad is to bring us closer to the Supreme Lord, to bring us to the understanding of the existence of the Supreme Person. Each of us, we are a person. The soul is a person. Soul is not simply some light, as many times we may think. Soul is a person. Soul is an eternal person. Whereas the Supreme Lord is also an eternal personality. This is confirmed in the Upanishads. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Eko Yo Bahunam Vidadhati Kaman, which means there are many eternals, but there is one supreme eternal being, and there are many conscious beings, and there is one supreme conscious being. That supreme eternal and conscious being is maintaining and providing for all the infinite uh, conscious eternal beings. That means we are all maintained by the Supreme Lord, either in the material world or in the spiritual world. Whether one is an atheist or a theist, all of us, we are having a relationship with Krishna as the maintained and the maintainer. That is the immediate first relationship that everybody in this world can relate to. We are maintained by Krishna. So he is our maintainer. Now, many people don't know this. They think this nature is producing fruits, vegetables, grains on its own, and we are getting maintained by nature. So they ascribe their maintenance to nature. But as explained in the Bhagavad Gita by Lord Krishna himself, this nature is working under the superintendence of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, ultimately, even nature is maintained and guided by the Supreme Lord Krishna. So, those who are conversant with this understanding that I am maintained and Krishna is my maintainer, they are called as devotees. While those who are not conscious of this maintained maintainer relationship, they are yet to become devotees. So, the Ishopanishad knowledge is meant to bring us gradually to this point that we have a personal relationship with Krishna. We can see Krishna face to face. We can talk to him. We can exchange loving relationship with him. This is our constitutional position. This is the purpose of the knowledge of Ishopanishad. That is why Srila Prabhupada calls Ishopanishad as the knowledge that brings one nearer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Now, this mantra, 14th mantra of Ishopanishad, is telling us that one who knows side by side these two things. What are these two things? Sambhutim and Vinasham. Sambhutim means the eternal Supreme Personality of Godhead and his spiritual abode, the Vaikuntha Loka. And Vinasham means that which is subjected to destruction, this material world with all its entities, including the Devatas, who are also not permanent. The Devatas are also they are also going through the repetition of birth and death. So, Ishopanishad saying, one who understands both the nature of Sambhutim and Vinasham, the spiritual eternal kingdom of the Lord and the temporary material world, one who knows this, then such a person can transcend death and he can enter into the kingdom of God and enjoy an eternal life full of knowledge and bliss in his association. That means we must be conscious that there are two types of worlds, there are two types of existences, there are two realities. One is eternal and not subjected to changes, the other one is temporary. which is continuously going through changes and transformation. Even in our own, if you study our own body, mind system, our existence also comprises of two types of realities. One is what we see externally. So we touch and feel our body and we think that we are the body, but we are actually not the body. But a body is a machine given to the soul, and we are the soul. So if you compare the body with the soul, what are the differences? Body continuously changes. Body takes birth. Body is subjected to old age. Body is subjected to disease, and finally the body dies. Whereas the soul is eternal. Soul is unchanging. Soul is not affected by the material elements. Fire cannot burn it. Wind cannot wither it. You know, the wind cannot dry the soul, and the water cannot wet the soul. Right? All these things Lord Krishna explains in the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. So the soul is unaffected by the material transformations that the body is subjected to. So just like in our own system, there are two types of realities: the soul, which is eternal, which is our real identity, and the body, which is temporary, which is going through changes. In the same way, this material world also comprises of two types of realities. Both are energies of Krishna. One is called the Para Prakriti, the spiritual nature, and the other one is called Apara Prakriti, the material nature. The material nature is called inferior nature because it is constantly going through changes, whereas the Para Prakriti, the spiritual nature, is unchanged. So the spiritual nature is called Vaikuntha. What is the meaning of Vaikuntha? Vigata Kuntha Yasmaditi Vaikuntha. That place where there is no kuntha, where there is no anxiety, there is no distress. uh, that is called Vaikuntha. Why we experience distress? Why do we experience anxiety? Because of temporary nature of things in this world. We become anxious. Oh, I will lose it. Oh, the one whom I am related to for a long time, my best friend, he is parting away from me. I'm getting separated. My friendship, my relationship with such a person is coming to an end, or I will lose that person. So there is an anxiety because things are temporary in this world. Whereas in the spiritual world, there is no such anxiety because there is no question of losing anything, because there everything is eternal. That is reality. That is the ultimate reality. So the Ishopanishad and Bhagavad Gita both are inviting us. Why are you stuck in temporary existence? Because of which you're always udvigna, you're always full of anxiety. Why don't you turn your attention towards the eternal reality? A spark of that eternal reality is you yourself, the soul. Why do you think that you are the temporary body? The moment you think you are the temporary body, you are into full of anxiety. But actually, you are not the temporary body. You are neither the mind. Mind is also material, it is also temporary. But you are the soul within. And since you are soul and you are not the body, you are not the material body, not the material mind. Therefore, this place, which is material world, is not your real residence. You are living in a wrong house. Since you are living in a wrong place, therefore you are suffering. There is an incompatibility between you and the place where you are staying. Our current existence is in a state of non-existence. And that is why there is so much of anxiety, there is so much of misery. Therefore, Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, he says, Parastasmat tu bhavonyo vyakto vyaktat sanatanaha. Beyond this manifested and unmanifested existences that you are seeing in this world, there is a supreme reality. There is an unchanging reality. There is an unchanging home, residence from where I have come. Krishna says, Paraha tasmatu bhava anyaha. Anyaha means there is one more. There is one more bhava. Bhava means nature. This material world is one kind of bhava, temporary nature, material nature. There is another nature, anya bhava, that is spiritual nature, and that is sanatanaha, that is eternal. And yassa sarveshu bhuteshu nashyatsu na vinashyati. When everything here in this temporary reality gets vanquished, that sanatana dharma of mine remains intact. Now, in this verse, Lord Krishna is calling us, come to that sanatana dharma. You belong to that place. You don't belong here. Just like when children, they go out of the house and they play. So they play with other neighboring children and they play various games. They enjoy their time for a long time when they're outside with friends. They play so long time. And after some time, the mother comes and says, "Oh, my dear child, for how long you will be here only? Have you forgotten that you have a house? Your father has just come and he's waiting for you for lunch. Why don't you come? Please come back." So the mother comes and calls out for the children, right? So why? Because the child belongs to that house. The child doesn't belong to that playground or the street where it is playing. That is a temporary existence. The real address for the child is that house, and he has his loving parents. So he is expected to be there inside the house. So that's why the mother is calling out of love. In the same way, Lord Krishna is saying in this shloka of the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, verse number 20, for how long will you be in this material world? Far away from you, far away from me. I'm your loving father. You have forgotten me. You're so busy playing various games in this material world. But you're getting entangled one after the other, one after the other, because you have forgotten your real identity and you're thinking you're the body. So just to satisfy the body, you're doing so many activities and that is creating reactions. And you are stuck in a complicated mesh of karma, which is causing you to take birth in various species of life. Now stop all this. You're away from home for a long time. Why don't you come back to me? That my abode, our real house, is Sanatana. It is not subjected to transformations. It is eternal. There you will experience unending bliss. We can all enjoy together unending bliss. Why don't you come? This is what Krishna is saying. Another place Krishna says, "Natad bhasayate suryo na shashanko na pavakaha yadgatva na nivartante tadhama paramam mama." So in the 15th chapter also Lord Krishna is giving another hint about his Parandhama, about the spiritual world, about Vaikuntha. He says that my supreme abode of mine is not illuminated by sun, moon, or electricity because it is inherently luminous. It does not require an artificial source of light. And anybody who comes there need not have to come back to this miserable material world. So, like this, Krishna is giving us an invitation, come back to me. When will you come back to me? In fact, the entire Bhagavad Gita can be seen as a invitation to the soul, to all the suffering souls in this material world, to come back to Krishna. Another place in the 15th chapter, Krishna says, Mamaivaamsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha manashashtani indriyani prakritisthani karshati. So in this verse you can see Krishna's tone is he is actually concerned. He's worried. He's saying, Mama eva amsha. All living entities, all of you are my amshas only. You belong to me. That means just like I am always blissful, you're also supposed to be always blissful. That is your original position. But since now you have gone away from me and you're trying to enjoy your senses separately, independently, so you are now karshati, you are struggling for existence in this material world. So why don't you stop this struggle and turn your attention towards me? This is Krishna's instruction. So the whole point is we should become Krishna conscious. We should understand our relationship with Krishna. We should plan, we should prepare to go back to the spiritual world. This is very important. We have to not make plans to settle down in this material world. Even if we want to settle down in this world, the nature of this world is such that it is ashashvatam. It will unsettle us. The more we try to settle down, we make so many schemes and plans and settle down. Oh, if I have a big bank balance, I'm secure. My position is secure in this world. If I become a rich man, I'll become safe and secure. No, any moment your wealth can be gone. So therefore, only to don't pay attention in settling down in this material world. These temporary things cannot save us, cannot give us real joy, which we are looking for. Our real joy can be experienced only when we connect with Krishna, because He is our source. For how long can we stay disconnected from our source and think that we can be happy? This is illusion. So the whole point is Krishna is inviting us, come back to me. Now somebody may say, what is the problem? Okay, this earthly planet, there are so many miseries. What if I go to higher planets, Swargaloka, where I can enjoy higher degrees of happiness, material happiness, and I can have a longer duration of life also there? What is wrong with that? So Lord Krishna answers that also in the Bhagavad Gita. He says, "A Brahma Bhuvana Loke Loko Punaravartino Arjuna." He says, even if you go to the topmost planet within this material world called Brahmaloka, you may live for a long duration of time, no doubt. But at the end of that long duration, you fall back again into the cycle of repetition of birth and death. So that's not an intelligent proposal, Krishna is saying. So that eternal happiness, unending happiness, uninterrupted happiness, you cannot experience even in the topmost planet in Brahmaloka. In other words, in the material world, wherever you go, whichever place you go, there is repetition of birth, death, old age, and disease, which is actually not wanted, which is actually unwanted for the soul, which is not required for the soul. The soul is eternal, but this birth, death, old age, and disease is creating a miserable experience for the soul. So Krishna, out of concern, he comes to the material world from the Vaikuntha, asking us to come back. And not only he comes, time and again he sends his confidential associates who come as acharyas to remind us that don't settle down in this world, come back to the spiritual world. The Lord is waiting for you. The Lord sends his messengers, his acharyas to this world time and again to remind us, to train us, to help us qualify to go back to the spiritual world. Simple qualification, Krishna says, what you can do to come back to the spiritual world. Krishna repeats this twice in the Bhagavad Gita. Once at the end of 9th chapter and once at the end of 18th chapter, he says, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosine. Krishna says, you just do these four things. You can revive your lost connection with me and you can come back to me. What are the four things you have to do? Krishna says, Manmana, mat manaha. Fix your mind on me. Think of me, Krishna says. While doing your work, you think of me. To Arjuna, Krishna advised, Ma manusmara yudhyacha. You are a warrior, kshatriya. You have to fight on the battlefield. While you are fighting, you think of me. Be conscious of me and fight. While doing all your activities, you be conscious of me. That means we have to fill our heart, saturate our heart with love for Krishna. Only then we can constantly think of Krishna, even while we are doing so many activities. So that is the first thing, man mana. The easiest way to develop this is to chant the holy names of the Lord constantly. Kirtaniya sada harihi. We have to practice chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Constantly, any time, always you should keep chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. And that will help you to come to a state where you can constantly think of Krishna. So second thing is Bhavamad Bhaktaha. Krishna says, you become my devotee. How to become devotee of Krishna? By associating with those who are already devotees of Krishna, or those who are better devotees than us. When we associate with them, we can actually become a devotee. So that is Bhavamad Bhaktaha, second thing Krishna says. Third thing is Madhyaji, you worship me. How to worship Krishna? Krishna says very simple. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. With love and devotion, you offer a fruit, flower, leaf, or water to me. I will accept it. That's all. That is worship. Worship means acknowledging that, Lord, whatever you have given me, it is from you only have given me. Acknowledging that. That is worship. So through our own occupational duties, we can worship Krishna. So Madhyaji. And last one is Mam Namaskuru. Offer your respects to me. Do Namaskara to me, Krishna is saying. So Namaskara means to give up the false ego that I am the doer, to bow down in front of the Lord, accepting His superior position, accepting that you are my Lord, you are my maintainer, I am your maintained, I am your servant. This is this is the meaning of Mam Namaskuru. Krishna says, you do these four things, you will come back to me. So it is not at all difficult. We have to take guidance from devotees, from the Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. We have to take guidance, and then we should plan our life such that every day we are doing this Manmana Bhava Madbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. These four things, according to the instructions of Srila Prabhupada, if you practice chanting, following the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga, then Prabhupada has promised that at the end of this very lifetime, I will take you back to God. So, therefore, we must have great enthusiasm, strong desire, put consistent efforts. Then it is possible that we can go back to the spiritual world once for all. So with this, we come to the end of today's session. We will discuss more in the next session. In a few moments, we will be reciting the first chapter shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. Thank you for joining. Shri Ishopanishad ki jai, Vishwa Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.